We're going to look at 8 key features or criterion that characterize the market structures we're going to focus on. And let me run through these very, very quickly because they set us up foundationally. Firstly, we're going to consider the number of firms in that market. In perfect competition, we have many firms, e.g. with tomato growers, whilst in monopoly, there is only one firm. For instance, possibly your national electricity generator. Secondly, we're going to consider market differentiation. In perfect competition, the product is usually standardized, e.g. a tomato, where a consumer can seamlessly change between different suppliers. In a monopoly structure, there are no close substitutes for the product of the monopolist. For instance, electricity. The third criteria we're going to consider relates to barriers to entry. In perfect competition, there are virtually no barriers to entry or very low barriers to entry. For instance, setting up a tomato garden. In a monopoly market structure, there are considerable barriers to entry, and sometimes these are enshrined in laws or in regulations. Think about how difficult it is to construct a nuclear power station. The fourth criteria relates to the amount of control the producing firm has over the price of their product. In perfect competition, there is effectively no or very little price control because there's so many competitors and the product is standardized. In a monopoly structure, the producer has no competition and they can influence the price considerably, obviously subject to some regulatory limitations and consumer demand. The fifth criteria observes how information regarding that market is distributed. In this respect, with both perfect and monopoly structures, information is assumed to be completely disseminated and fully available. The sixth criteria looks at the opportunities or the potential for collusion amongst market participants. In a perfectly competitive market structure, collusion is impossible. That's because there are so many players and the fact that each player has got such a small percentage of the market. In a monopoly market structure, collusion is not necessary. You've only got one producer. The seventh criteria relates to concentration ratios insofar as market share is concerned. So in a perfectly competitive market, there's much lower concentration with no dominant players. In a monopoly market structure, the concentration ratio is 100% because there's only one single producer. So let's take a look at these market structures in detail.